All right, and we are live on the Randy Show. I'm with Anthony Tullo, a Canadian country artist, and so excited to have you on, Anthony. How are you doing, man?
Doing good, Randy. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, we had fun setting this interview up because we do this on Google Hangouts, and Anthony's like, "What's a Google Hangout?"
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
have,
Randy helped me get on the show. Otherwise, I'd be a distant voice with no picture. So I appreciate that. Thanks.
we'll
I
see
learned something else today.
all the girls get to see you live and in color right there, so that's
Oh,
pretty
okay.
cool.
That's
Now,
pretty
I got to
cool.
ask you here, man. You just recently, I don't know if you want to go back to the beginning or how we want to start this, but you are actually from Oakville, Ontario. Where exactly is Oakville in relation to, well, see, a lot of people around the world, this is not just Canada and USA, people around the world is watching this. A lot of
Right.
people know where Toronto is. So where is Oakville exactly?
Well, Toronto, Oakville would be about a half-hour drive from Toronto. So it's a highway drive. You just hit the highway, and about 30 minutes in, you hit the Gardiner, you're in Toronto. So Toronto would be in Ontario, and it's in the GTA area, the Greater Toronto area. Is where Oakville is, and it incorporates a bunch of large towns like Oakville, Mississauga, Milton, Burlington, um, and that's where we are. That's where I am.
Well, I know that you started songwriting and singing in your early teens.
Right.
And you also did some acting as well. Now, I kind of want to, I guess, roll into this screenplay because I'm excited about talking about the screenplay. I know you did that back in 2012, but this is kind of cool. But tell me exactly how you got started in songwriting and what inspired you to do that.
Well, truth is that back in the day, acting has always been a major, huge part of my life. It's what I wanted to do, and I did a lot of it. And then I just got the crazy notion to want to produce my own film and not work with an agent. So I fired my agent because they weren't doing much, and I just said I need money, like we all do, to do anything. So I got this, I got this crazy idea to just um, I just thought to myself, I really liked the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I thought, man, if I could get into this, win a medal or two, and then build a studio, and then I get clients, maybe I could save money to make a film. And I thought, why don't I try? And people thought I was, from planet, Pluto. I wasn't normal. I said, "Well, how are you going to do that?" And I said, well, I'm just going to go for it, And I ended up, long story short, going to Brazil, winning a bronze medal there, coming back, winning a gold medal in acting here it's a place near Toronto.
Wow.
Built a studio, like I said, in about seven years' time. I saved enough money to produce a film that won me a bunch of awards, including the the LA Movie Award for International Award of Excellence for the film called The Secret Cross. And from there, I had a song written in the soundtrack, and a producer got a hold of it and said, you know what, who wrote the song? And I said, well, what about the film? He goes, well, who wrote the song? And I'm like, shit, man, what about the film? But long story short, it just kind of went from there, and I ended up in Los Angeles, I ended up in Nashville, and there was just a lot of hype on the fact that I'm a strong writer, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go with it, and I ended up with the album Switching Tracks.
Well, I haven't seen the film, and I apologize for that because I'd like to see it. Secret Cross,
Yeah.
a psychological thriller, and
Yes.
I understand the former UFC fighter Jeff Jocelyn was in the lead. Now, why'd you pick this guy? Why didn't you play the lead? Or are you in the
Well, the thing is, when I got into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, he ended up ultimately being my coach. Someone I trained with at his facility. So what happened with Jeff is he had suffered a concussion or something had taken him out of the UFC. And he was real down about it. And I thought, well, hell, you know what? Would you want to be in a movie? Because he could remove his teeth out of his mouth, and he looked like a hillbilly when he did that. So I thought, hey, you know what? I want you to play the villain. And he said, well, I've never acted in my life, Anthony. And I said, well, that's cool. I could train you. And I did that. And he ended up winning the Best Supporting Actor.
That's
He
amazing.
was phenomenal in the film. He listened to everything I told him, and he I mean, credit to him. He's an incredible fighter, and he just took the same determination of learning how to fight to learn how to act, and he pulled off a great performance in this movie. He's real evil, and yeah, I was really happy for him.
Now, I know we're supposed to be talking about music, and we'll get to that. I promise everybody. We've got a couple of your videos here. But, I mean,
Cool.
you did so well with this movie. Have you thought about maybe doing another one in the future, or is it
I
mainly
have thought
music?
about doing another one in the future. I'm definitely not out of the. I mean, acting was my love, and it is something that I will do again for sure for a lifetime. It's just that the music is sort of taken precedence just because it's moving for me at a much faster rate. So I've got to take the track that's moving at a faster rate for me. Either way, they're both entertainment, so they both will, you know, offset and help each other in the end.
Okay, so I want to move a little bit forward here to the single "Back That Truck Up" in September 2014, One Day, and tell me a little bit about that. I know that you've been doing this since you were a teenager, but was that really your breakthrough in the music business?
Back that truck up you're talking about, Randy?
Uh-huh.
Back then, what happened is I was in Los Angeles, in California, and I was actually in contact with Bo Goldson, who is the president of Citron Music now, but at the time Universal up in California, and he just really took a big liking to me, and he offered me along with another gentleman called Eddie Wenrick, offered me a bunch of songs in their vault to listen to, and that I can choose from to actually put on my album. So I had 5 songs written, and the 5 songs I chose, the first one was "Back That Truck Up." I just thought it was just a tremendously well written song with great lyrics and a great hook.
Hmm. Now, why did you decide to go the country route? I mean, I'm glad you did, but is that kind of the way you roll, or I mean, is it just?
Well, it's fun. Good question. That's a good question. I was having a conversation with this gentleman Eddie Wenrick, and he was basically telling me, he said, "Look, the demographics of people that would listen to you and rock um, is simply not going to compare to where you are in your life now with country. And you've got a raspy, low voice, and that really
Mhm.
suits the country genre. You're really," and he felt I was just really stretching it with rock because of the range, but in country, it just fit like a glove. So he said, "What do you think about that?" And at first I said, I don't know. I mean, I grew up in a country, small town. I remember my childhood there, great memories. Um, but I thought about it and I said, you know what? I've got a lot of respect for country. It's great music, great songwriting, great stories. I'm going to go for it.
Is that how you ended up in Nashville, or?
Then at that point, I had to decide where I wanted to record the album, and I didn't want to do a half-ass job. I wanted the best, so I was set up in Nashville with a gentleman called Paul Skolton, who is phenomenal, and all his guys like JT Cornflaws and Kelly Back, and these guys play for Tim McGraw, they play for Keith Urban, they played on all these albums. Um, and they met me. We just got along, and I recorded some of it in Canada, some of the songs in Canada, and then recorded the rest of the album there. So I had a great time in Nashville. It's a great place to be, actually. Great people, and like I said, the studio was fantastic. Where I recorded here was great too at Metalworks, but it all worked out.
It's a fun town, and I know I've been teasing everybody. There's so much that I want to go over, and we have a limited time. But is it okay if I go ahead and play one of the singles so people can kind of experience your sound and everything? Because I love the single, and I don't say that lightly. I mean, I love your sound. You got that smoky,
Yeah,
that
thanks.
voice, man. It just fits. And the name of the song, I want to play "Oil" first. Is that okay?
Oil is cool. And I'll say this one thing, Randy, if I could throw this in for a sec before you play
Sure.
something. There's a lot of talk, especially if you're in Canada, about sort of, is he country? Is he rock? Listen, I'll tell you, I'll just say this straight because I'm not one to hold back. Let me tell you something. I think country rock, the combination, the fusion of the two, is
Hmm.
phenomenal music.
Hmm.
And I don't know how else to write. That's how I write. I've got that electric guitar, raspy sound with the country fusion, and that's me. And you know, it may get me into trouble, but so far people are loving it. So I'm gonna ride that wave, Randy. That's it. You can play oil. Go ahead, yeah.
All right. We're going to go to screen share here. I want to make sure we can bring it up. And let's see here. Let's see if we can bring that up. Nope, that's not it.
There's a picture of you there.
That's a picture of me.
Yeah, driving a truck, you look like.
Okay, let's go here. I thought I was there. Anyway, while I'm setting this up, if you could tell me a little bit about oil. Let me see here. There we go. There it is.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about this song.
Long story short, it was written by Will Robinson. It wasn't written by me. He's a phenomenal, well-respected writer out of Nashville. And when I heard the song at first, I really didn't get it, but it did not leave me. It grew on me like a monster, and the message behind the song was something I was really impressed with. And I thought if I could add my twist to it with my guitars and my sound, I would just love to do the song, and it ended up turning out fantastic, I think.
All right. Well, I think we skipped past the advertisement, but if not, I'll skip past it here, and we are going to play Oil here.
Cool.
Stick it in the tank, good as gold, money in the bank. Oil, black as coal, makes a man sell his soul. It's colder, thicker than blood. Take a bath in that Texas mud. Tell the dinosaur this modern world needs more. Come on, pump it up. Oh, you'll smell it burn, makes the wheels turn. Oh, the water don't mix, nothing but dirty politics. Oil across this land, always in high demand. It's colder, thicker than blood. Take it back in that Texas mud. Tell the dinosaur this modern world needs more. It's colder, thicker than blood. Take it back in that Texas mud. Tell the dinosaur this modern world needs more.
I love that song, man. That's a hell of a song.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
That rocks.
It does. It does, man. I got to ask though. The girl's pretty hot. Who is that girl, man?
It's like you just read my mind. I was about to say it. I thought, should I say it? Should I say it? Maybe not. I just, if I had $1 for everyone that says, "Who's the girl?" She's hot. She was a sweetheart actually to work with. She was actually a little nervous, but we got along really well, and she was happy to meet me. And she just, she relaxed and turned it on, and yeah, she's a good-looking gal for sure. Looks great on camera. Really came through for the video.
Well, we just saw Oil, and we're talking with Anthony Tullo, and we're just having a great time here. But I want to tell you a little bit about one of our sponsors. Now, I know everybody likes to shop, and I'm sure that girl in the video likes to shop. Well, how would you like to shop and get cash back every time you shop? That's right. From over 10,000 major retailers, it's a shopping with cash back. You can go to my website, randyshow.com, and in the top left, you'll see a little icon that says, I want to get cash back. I'm not sure exactly what it says, but it says shopping with cash back. And every time you shop, I'm talking major retailers like Walmart, Target, Best Buy, even Apple. And Apple never gives anything. They do a sale maybe once or twice a year, usually at Christmas, and you can even save with Apple. You can buy a brand new computer and get cash back. I believe it's like 8% or something like that. Sign up as a VIP and get even more cash back, and every time you refer someone to your VIP site to become a VIP, you make $20, and that's unlimited. So you can invite, 10 people to become a VIP on your site, and you make $200, or 100 people and you make $2,000. It's unlimited. Plus, they get cash back, and you get a small percentage of their cash back purchases as well. And you can get everything from travel to insurance to telephones. The only thing you can't get is perishable items. So you can have it shipped, or you can pick it up at the store. So shopping with cash back, check out randyshow.com and find out how you can get in on that as well. Anyway, back with Anthony Tullo, and I tell you what, Anthony, I love the song, but I got to congratulate you. I want to ask you about the cover of Cashback. I'm thinking Cashback here. Cashbox, Canadian Cashbox magazine. How did that happen, man? Congratulations on that.
Thanks very much. Well, Cashbox Canada is the #1 online music magazine in Canada. It's a real prestige magazine. Very tough to get on, but my radio tracker, Linda Daw, who, like if I haven't said before, has been incredible for my career. She's a phenomenal legend in the business and is really behind me 1,000%. She contacted Sandy Graham, who's the CEO of the magazine, and convinced her to listen to the album. She did, and said, I'm willing to put Anthony on the cover. And Don Graham, her brother, who's the top writer for the magazine, hooked up with me. We talked, we got along real well, and he wrote me a feature, and I was on the cover, and I'm very grateful. It's certainly an honor to have been on the magazine, and especially to have graced the cover of it, like happened. So I'm happy for that.
It's pretty cool, and you've been selected for Canada Music Week. Now this is coming up in May, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
How were you selected, and what is that all about?
Well, it's a funny story actually, because I was with Sonic Bit for a couple weeks, and they were doing they had a conference as to selecting one artist which they felt could play at the Canadian Music Week. And so I got an email, and they said, well, we've reviewed thousands of submissions, and we decided that we want you to play at the Canadian Music Week, Anthony. And I thought, wow, what an honor, thank you. But I'm already playing there. I was already asked to play there because, again, Linda Dahl, my radio tracker, got in touch with Justin Conn, who's running the thing. He heard my album, and he said, we'll give Anthony primetime. So I was honored, and I said, wow, so I guess I'm destined to play there, and they're actually giving Bryan Adams the humanitarian award that week too out there. So and he's my idol, so
That is pretty cool.
it is very cool.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to play this next song coming up, "Relentless." Now, is that one from the new album?
That's on the Switching Tracks album for sure.
Now, the
Um,
switching tracks. Now, did you write the song "Relentless"? Tell me a little bit about the songs you wrote and how you selected them as well.
well, the songs I wrote on the album were 10 Seconds to Sundown, Borderline, Sinner in My Soul, One Day, which was released in the UK and did really, really well. And the other song is In the Headlights, which is a personal song to me, and I wrote it's a ballad. So two ballads and three uptempos. Relentless was one that was written in Nashville again, um, and um, and actually, I love the song the minute I heard it. I just thought, you know what? Um, I just love this tune, and there was no doubt I wanted to do it. I wanted to play it. I got permission to do so, and again, it landed on my album, and it turned out fantastic. The boys over at County Q, just slammed it home. God, they were great.
It's an awesome song, and if you don't mind here, I'm going to switch to screen share again and play that song "Relentless."
Absolutely.
All right, here is "Relentless." Anthony Tullo from Switching Tracks, the brand new album.
Four eyes, pull me in like the blue Pacific tide. Ride the waves of a hurricane 100 feet high. Ooh, your eyes, your lips set me off like the 4th of July when they kiss. Pouring down like southern rain, thunder and lightning. Ooh, and your lips. Relentless. That's what you are when you love. Baby, you don't stop letting you go. So bring it. Hey, bring it on. Girl, bring it. Yeah, bring it slow. Girl, bring it. Yeah, bring it on. Relentless. Who knows just how far a thing like this could go? So don't hold back, just let it roll. Like a runaway train, yeah, you're living insane. Relentless. That's what you are when you love. We got the stars and the moon and the sun shining on us. So bring it, yeah, bring it on, girl, bring it, yeah, bring it strong, yes, bring it,
Great song, man. Great. I love it.
Thanks, man. Hey, there
Yeah,
was another hottie out there too, that blonde one in the cowboy hat.
I know. What's with you and the
She's
hotties?
no, she's smoking, and I won't smoke it. In fact, she's so smoking, she's my fiance.
Oh, really?
That's my fiance right there, the cowboy. She jumped in the video with me with all the crowd, and she goes, she didn't want to be in it, but I said, you know what? There's a bunch of girls. You got to get in there with a cowboy hat and do your thing. And so
Where did you
she got
film?
in there. That was crazy. We filmed that in Scarborough, which is North Toronto, at this place where and what started, it just became pandemonium. Like when they realized we were filming it. You just start filling up, and by the time the cameras rolled, it was nuts. And we were just going, let's turn it on, man. Let's do it. Let's just go. And the camera guys were flying into the crowd. It was a crazy, great night. It just worked out really well. It just worked out really well. It was exciting.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We're talking with Anthony Tullo, who is a Canadian country music star, and we're going to talk with Anthony a little bit more, but I wanted to tell you about another one of our sponsors. As you can see in the background there, you can see the Shakeology sign, and of course I'm wearing a P90X. If you've ever heard of Insanity or P90X or Turbo Jam, Body Beast, Beachbody has over 30 different programs, some of the best exercise programs in the world, and of course Shakeology is what they call the healthiest meal of the day. There's over 70 different superfoods, antioxidants, adaptogens. I actually lost 60 pounds of fat and almost 30 total inches, and I did that 3 years ago, and I've been maintaining ever since. I drink Shakeology every day, and I've done several different Beachbody programs. In fact, I loved it so much I became a Beachbody coach. Now, you don't have to become a coach, but you can get the same type results if you go to my website, randyshow.com, and you'll see a little link there in the center top, which gives you a link to all the Beachbody challenges. That's, like I said, there's over 30 different programs, and you can choose the one which is right for you, whether you want something really, really intense like Insanity, or something that helps you recover from injury like Tai Chi. It's all there and explains it to you and lets you compare the different programs. So go to randyshow.com and look for that link at the top of the page for the Beachbody challenges. You can also go to my website, tinyurl.com/Coach Randy. That's tinyurl.com/Coach Randy. And back with Anthony Tullo. Anthony, I'm telling you, this Switching Tracks, man, it sounds and looks like a great CD. How are you doing overseas and internationally and in Canada with these tracks?
Well, in Canada, we released Back That Truck Up as our first single, and now we've just released Oil, and Oil right now is doing really good. It's taken a huge, it's just gaining ground like crazy. One Day was released in Europe and did phenomenal in a few countries, but the UK especially. They're about to release Borderline in Europe. And it's going great, it's just drawing a lot of attention. I've had, on the media side, it's kind of nuts for me. It's not in a bad way, all in a great way. I'm extremely happy about the response with media, and I firmly believe that media empowers you, and it's radio has no choice but to look at you if the media is all over you. So I'm happy, and it's a thrill to hear your song on radio wherever, it's really a thrill.
Now I'm gonna put you on the spot here. I'm gonna push the envelope just a little bit because I always wondered about this, and I'm a bit ignorant when it comes to this. So I'll be the first to say, why is it so hard, or it seems so hard, to get Canadian songs into U.S. radio? I mean, you have the Shania Twains and the Anne Murrays and a couple of the others, but it seems like they have so many great Canadian artists, and it's hard for them to break in. Do you think it's the same way that maybe country music is harder to break in internationally, or I don't know if you play a lot of U.S. country songs on Canadian radio. Can you kind of explain that a bit, or do you really know why that is anyway? Because I never understood that.
Well, I think it's difficult. It's a great question, Randy, and I think it's difficult to get on radio anywhere. And I
Yeah.
think and I'm not going to hold back. I think the main reason is that the music directors who are in charge of gathering their members and deciding on what is going to be played are very concerned about having their radio stations survive a very competitive world and stay popular, stay relevant.
Hmm.
And how do you do that? Well, let's play the top guys, and we're safe. If we play the top guys, we're safe because people listen to them. If we
Hmm.
start trying to play people that are not as known, even if they're great, it's a risk. And I'll tell you, these guys are, a lot of them are just really afraid of that risk. They're just afraid of it. And I think even more so if you're a Canadian trying to get into the American market, you've got the double whammy. You've got, okay, we don't really know you, and you're not American. We've got our American boys here. So what
But
do you
you,
want?
but
So
you are American. You're North American.
that's true. That's true. I mean, that's a great question, Randy, and I've got a real issue with that because, I'm just thinking to myself, I certainly understand business, and I understand you need to make your money, you need to keep the radio station afloat, and you need a certain amount of playing what people want to hear. But there's so much great talent, and to deny that because you're so afraid, you should be more confident in your station. It's not going to kill you I won't mention names, but I've had conversations with some music directors who, over the phone, I felt like telling them to take a chill pill. It's like, don't worry, your station's still okay. You're not going to go under tomorrow, pal. Just relax. But unfortunately, this is the reason why it's hard to crack radio, because when you're known, you're in. If you're not known, you're not in. So how do you get? And you've got to do a lot of legwork, and a lot of people are in the business for many years before they get that opportunity to break in
Well,
radio.
I think you're well on your way, man. It is a tough business because I'm also on the radio end. I'm not a programmer or music director, but you have so many great songs and so many artists. It is tough, and like you said, it's tough to get on the radio anywhere. But are you finding? It sounds like internationally you're getting a lot of airplay, and of course in Canada you're getting some great reviews and great airplay. What about the satellite stations? What do you think about that? Are you getting played on those, like the Sirius XMs and things like that?
To be honest with you, I jumped on a program called Music Submit.
Mm-hmm.
It was introduced to me from Linda Dahl,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been fantastic. I think I've been submitted to, I don't know how many, but 8 of them have downloaded my music, and 7 out of the 8 called me and
Wow.
contacted me and want to interview and want to review me. I believe the record. I really believe this when I say this, Randy, because I'm more harder on myself than anyone could ever be. But I believe the record is absolutely killer. If there isn't one bad song on the record, I'm meticulous, and I think I created a record, as Linda says, she hasn't heard a record like that in a long time, where she actually, her problem is which song do I release? Because they're all great. And usually there's one, and then where do I find another one? And in your case, you said, I don't know which one to release. So I'm happy about that, and I like I said, I'm determined to keep climbing, and if media continues to support me as they are, then I am, I think I'm destined to get somewhere.
I think you're already getting there, and I think it's awesome. Your music sounds great. I've only heard 2 of the tracks, but if it's anything
What have you
like
heard,
the
Oil
rest
and
of the
Relentless?
record. What's that?
What have you heard, Oil and Relentless?
Yeah, that's the only 2 I've heard so far. But hey, I'm being honest here. I'm being honest. But man, if
Hey,
the rest
listen,
of
Randy, you should hear the record. It's good.
I got to listen to the whole record, man. It's just
Yeah,
switching
man.
tracks is the name of the record, and I'm excited about it. It's
You know, Randy,
awesome.
I'd really like you to listen to it and get back to me. Tell me what you think. I'm being serious now. I really would like you to take a listen. I know you're a busy guy, and get back to me and tell me what you think. Your opinion matters. I'd like to hear what you really think
I
about the
will.
entire album.
I
Uh,
will.
you know,
It's kind of it's like that in radio and where you only hear the singles a lot of times, but and I know a lot of artists, whether they're U.S. or Canadian, they get kind of aggravated because the whole album tells a story, and a lot of them say, "Gosh, you get this on iTunes, you get it on this," and people just hear the singles. But yeah, I definitely will listen to the whole album, and
I'd love to hear your picks and what you think and which songs grab you, and definitely, I think it'll be a good listen. It won't be a waste of your time.
no, not at all. Not at all. Switching Tracks is the name of the CD, and
Switching
Anthony
tracks.
Tullo, we've really enjoyed talking with you here on the Randy Show. And if people
You
want to
were great,
get in
man. You're a
touch,
funny guy.
well, I'm honest and I'm just a straight shooter, and I'm going to ask you the
Me
question.
too. I'm a straight shooter too. I'm the same way, you know. So that's what makes great interviews, Randy. That's what
Yeah.
makes great interviews. You know what I mean? It's I love it. I love it. And you've asked some really different, interesting questions that I kind of like to talk about, like the radio business, and I got to be careful though. I don't want to go too crazy.
Yeah, I know. I realize that. Everything's a little bit
Got to be a
political.
nice boy, you know about it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if anybody wants to check out the video, it will be available on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Randy Show Video. That's youtube.com/Randy Show Video, and of course, you'll see it on randyshow.com. We'll put it up there as soon as it's available. But that being said, where can we reach out to you? How do we reach you, Anthony, if they want to see your videos, your website, if they want to order your music? What do they need to do?
Well, I've got it. My website is www.anthonytullo.com. Pretty simple. I've got a Facebook band fan page. You just go on Facebook and you can research me, and you'll find it there. If you want to see my movie, my movie's it's in 4 countries. A Secret Cross. You can Google it. I'm on Amazon Prime. You can see the movie A Secret Cross. I've got a YouTube channel, and if you want to buy the record, the album, you can do it at cdbaby.com, or I'm on iTunes. You can download the songs or buy the album there also. So kind of everywhere.
All right. You're connected, man. You're
I
connected.
think so. I think now it's important to be connected with the social media, and I've had to learn.
What's coming up with Anthony Tullo as far as touring and showing off his music? You got anything set up as far as that goes?
Well, I'm playing in May. I'm going to be playing the Canadian Music Week there at the Cadillac Lounge in Toronto, 11 p.m. for those who want to see it. And then I'm also scheduled to open up. I'm one of the pre-openers for Jim Cuddy at Blue Rodeo, actually, in September. They just called me today. They tell me that I'll be on the main stage there. It's called the Kerr Street Festival, and I'll be there too. But I'm also going on a radio tour, and that's the middle of April. It's a pretty intensive radio tour where I'm going to all the radio stations in the GTA area. So I'll be all over there. So they're putting that together right now as we speak.
Sounds great. Anthony, I really appreciate it. You spending some time with us. In fact, I think this has been my longest interview. I hate to
Really?
I hate to be done with the interview because we could be talking and talking.
No, wait, your longest interview, Randy, for real?
It really has been, and I've really enjoyed it. I really
Well, it might
have.
be the longest because it took me half hour to get on the damn thing. That's why it's the longest.
You were Google Hangout challenged, but now you know it.
Yeah. I'm like, is this interview going to happen? I don't know. Because people really wanted to watch it. They were phoning me, and I'm like, I'll be there somewhere,
Well, Anthony, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to say to the fans
Randy.
before we go?
Thank you very much, Randy. It's been a pleasure. You're great fun. You're a lot of fun, and if I'm in California, I got to look you up. I got to come see you.
Yeah, you have to.
You'll let me in the station or wherever you're working, wherever you don't know.
We're gonna lock the doors,
It
man.
might be a whole different guy in person. I don't know. Who are you, man? I don't know you.
No. You're always welcome, man. And I'm originally from Texas and southeast Texas, southwest Louisiana. So I'll cook you some.
Southern guys are great, man. You Southern guys truly are great. You guys got Southern hospitality. When I was in Nashville, or I've heard about Texas, it's fantastic. Yeah, I love those kind of people. Really, honest to God, it's great. You guys are genuine. You're grounded. You just are who you are. That's it.
Well, we love Canadians too. You guys, I don't think you guys ever get mad or anything,
Really, eh? Jeez. Come to Canada and find out. I think the Canadians can be real cold like the weather at times. I think actually the South where you're from is what you call. I'd rather sometimes I'd like to be down there. I'll tell you.
Hey, come on by any time. And you haven't said A once during the interview.
No, and that's a whole misconception. The only people who say A are the guys from out PEI. And half of them say that because they're not very articulate. So everything is A. I don't ever say that. I mean, where I'm from, if you said A 2-3 times, I'd go, "What's the matter with you, man? Are you high or something?"
Hey, Anthony, thank you so much. We really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Randy. Thanks. I look forward to seeing this interview, and I'll definitely let everyone know about it. It's been fun. Great interview.
All right.
Hopefully we'll talk again. If my next album or whenever. You don't forget me. Don't get too big now, Randy.
No, stop. You're welcome anytime. Anthony Tullo here. Don't forget you can go to his website, anthonytullo.com. That's Tullo. And, of course, you can watch The Randy Show, randyshow.com, and see it on YouTube, youtube.com, Randy Show Video. Thanks, Anthony. We'll see you next time.
Thanks very much, Randy. Cheers.